Streamlabs. So once I restart Streamlabs, it let me. Alright.
Okay, here's that.
Restream on. Total 4 hours on other paths. I don't know that. We need to remove that.
Like, I knew I would be popular.
I started it when I was dying. So was my motto, still thinking I'm dead.
Now,
Hey friends. That looks about right. Hey friends. Perfect. All right. So, awesome. So we are welcome. It's been a while. Let's hang out here. Do the reading and do the games. We are right now going through A Man Called Horse. We're just starting this by Gwinnett Tilly Turner. John Horse and the Black Seminole Underground Railroad. Let's see who the publisher is. Abrams Books for Young Readers, New York. For the late Chief William Dubb Warrior and Miss Ethel Warrior, Clarence L. Irving, Sr., Joseph A. Apolla, Willie Hart, LCP, Wallace Josephine Camper, and Levon Brown Rowe. See how long it takes to get through each chapter, Charlie, and then we'll see. Oh, what's up, George? Yes, right now I'm hanging out with my clients, and so hence the VTube and voice mod, my friend. But welcome. In the early 1700s, many Lower Creek broke away from the Upper Creek and immigrated from Georgia and Alabama to Florida. The Breakaway Native, it's also part of our program to work towards media. The Breakaway Native American group became known as Seminoles or Runaways. Alongside them was a smaller group of enslaved people called Black Seminoles. They were the descendants of Seminoles, free blacks, and runaway slaves. Whereas the United States practiced chattel slavery, humans were treated as property with no rights whatsoever. The Seminoles practiced a form of slavery that was considered beneficial to them and to the enslaved people. No type of slavery is good or acceptable. However, the Seminoles used the words owner and slave in a different way from their American neighbors. The Seminoles considered themselves protectors rather than masters. In exchange for this protection, black Seminoles paid a token share of their harvest to their owners. Otherwise, they lived as free people. Many black Seminoles spoke Kola. Put this over. The Creole language spoken in Carolina, later the area of South Carolina, and learned their patrons' Massogan dialect. Those who spoke English and Spanish often served as interpreters and negotiators in discussions with the U.S. government. Black Seminoles and their enslavers lived in a similar manner. They carried guns, hunted, fished, dressed in Seminole-style clothing, and fought as military allies but maintained their own separate identities, villages, and leadership. Carolina slaveholders considered black and native alliances a massive underground railroad operation and were eager to recapture formerly enslaved people. The U.S. government supported them. However, if a former enslaver attempted to reclaim his property, a Seminole owner could convincingly claim to be the new enslaver. Introduction. A gopher turtle, also called a gopher tortoise. In the fall of 1826, a 14-year-old black Seminole named John Horse arrived at the kitchen of the U.S. Army camp, clutching a large fiber sack. Sounds like so. He asked if he could speak to Lieutenant Colonel George M. Brooke. John opened the sack, and Brooke was delighted to find two large turtles known as gophers. He gladly paid John for them, ordered the cook to put the turtles in a pen, and told John to keep bringing them for a great turtle feast. So John did as requested, and brought turtles every day. He had come up with what he thought was an ingenious idea. He sold the turtles to the army during the daytime, retrieved them at night, then sold them back the next day. However, it didn't play out exactly as he had hoped. His ruse was discovered, and Brooke, furious, sent for the boy. John convinced Brooke that he was only playing a prank on the cook, and reassured the colonial that he would bring him as many turtles as he wanted. Colonel? There's no R, though. There's no R. Yeah. This explanation diffused Brooke's anger. Instead of being punished, John was merely required to supply the turtles he had promised. The encounter earned John a nickname, Gopher John. This would be the first of many seemingly impossible feats he accomplished throughout his life. Yeah, maybe you're right, Colonel. Let me see. This isn't like the KFC guy, like, considered a colonel. Like that. Ah, oh, that makes sense. Oh, and then I killed. Close Discord.
Did you actually?
I
Yes, I was just telling gas!
I know. Yeah, I'll take about a gaze too. Key locations in John's horse life.
Chapter 1. Florida.
Florida, the First Seminole War. John was born a black Seminole in 1812 in Alachua, Savannah, west of St. Augustine, Florida. John's original name was Juan Cavallo, or Kawa, a corruption of the Hittite word Kawe, meaning horse. It is believed that his father was Seminole tribesman Charles Cavallo. His mother, possibly enslaved by Cavallo, was of African and Native American descent. Her name is unknown. Fort Brooke in Tampa Bay, 1838, established in 1824 by Colonel George Brooke. Yeah, I just have to, change the L into an R. It was a tumultuous time in history. The War of 1812 raged on, and President James Madison secretly urged a group of planters seize control of Spanish Florida so that he could annex it to the United States. The planters, although rebuffed by Seminoles, black Seminoles, free blacks of St. Augustine, and the Spanish, were still able to march west, leveling 2 villages, including the one where John's family lived. Outnumbered, the Seminoles and the black Seminoles sheltered their families in the swamps. The Seminoles lived in teepees, elevated plank houses that took advantage of the breeze in the hot and humid climate. A year later, they emerged cautiously and settled on opposite side of the Suwannee River. They resumed life as they had in Alachua. Mindful that a next battle was brewing, John was 5 years old when the First Seminole War officially began. The Seminoles had built on... Yes? Yeah, we'll take 2 chapters at a time. Okay, like actual chapters. Not counting introductions. John was 5 years old when the First Seminole War officially began. The Seminole had built on the east bank of the Suwannee, so they had a river and the black Seminoles on the opposite bank between themselves and the U.S. Army, which was advancing from the west. They were able to disappear into the swamp. However, the black Seminoles were trapped and forced to fight. Many defenders were killed, and the U.S. troops, led by General Andrew Jackson, pillaged and burned both villages. After driving the Seminoles from the Suwannee River, General Jackson was largely unopposed as he led a large American force through east and northeast Florida. In February 1819, the Adams-Onis Treaty was signed and provided for Florida's cession to the United States for $5 million. A Man Called Horse. In September 1823, the major Seminole leaders met with U.S. officials and signed the Treaty of Maltree Creek, which promised to provide protection to the chiefs and their people. In exchange, they agreed to move to reservations and not let any runaway slaves join their ranks. John Horse and his mother settled on Lake Thonotosassa. I want to butcher that. Lake Thonotosassa. I'll say it with confidence so that you think I say it correctly. 12 miles from U.S. Army's Fort Brooke on Tampa Bay. John's teen years were calmer than his childhood. He was an excellent marksman and noted for his ability to supply wild game. He raised livestock, married He raised livestock, married the sister of a close kinsman to the head chief, and started a family. A Seminole village circa 1835. On May 28, 1830, Andrew Jackson, who had now become President Jackson, signed the Indian Removal Act, which ordered most tribes east of the Mississippi River to be relocated to an Indian territory west of the Mississippi. After controversial treaties and clashes, another war began. The Second Seminole War. John Horse was 23 years old when the Second Seminole War began in 1835. He had grown to be a powerfully built, fine-looking fellow of 6 feet, with a jaunty air that would fix your attention. John Horse, engraved, published in 1848. He enjoyed wearing silver armlets, elaborate plumed head shawls, and rich sashes of the Seminole dandy. He had all the characteristics of a potential leader: coolness, courage, and cunning. His language skills enabled him to communicate with Seminoles and government agents with equal ease. He rose from relative obscurity to become a sub-chief. On December 8, 1836, General Thomas Sidney Jesup assumed command of the Florida campaign to remove the native people. Jesup adopted a new tactic to capture and imprison all Seminoles. By late 1837, soldiers had forced the Seminoles from their safe haven in the Wahoo Swamp and the cove of the Withlacoochee Soldiers destroy villages, kill wars, and capture women and children. An early... Yeah. Well, the horrible histories USA also, gave true stories. No. None of it was fake. Yep. That was all true. Huh? Hmm. In early March, John Horse accompanied principal headman to Fort Dade on the Withlacoochee River. He was a negotiator and signer of a document stating that hostilities would cease immediately. Black Seminoles were the bona fide property of the Seminoles, and the entire nation would be secure in their lives and property. The U.S. government will pay relocation expenses and provide rations to the Seminoles before, during, and for a year after they immigrated to the West. By the end of March, hundreds of Seminoles, including John Horse and Wildcat, son of Chief King Philip, King is his name, not a title, reluctantly gathered at Tampa Bay to await removal. King Philip, 1838.
That's that would be until, well, cross this out and put that bow. That's that. Just the bow.
Some runaway slaves who had accompanied the Seminoles escaped when planters arrived intending to re-enslave them, but others, including King Philip and members of his band, remained in hiding. General Jessup, concerned about the escape and anxious to get the remaining Seminoles to come in, requested a conference with the principal chiefs who were in Tampa Bay. The chiefs failed to come that day. That night, a band led by resistant Seminole leader Osceola forcibly abducted 3 of those chiefs. Meanwhile, John Horse and Wildcat organized a mass escape, but about 700 Native Americans and blacks fled from Tampa Bay with Osceola's band. In September, Brigadier General Joseph Hernandez of the Florida militia located Chief King Philip's band, which had not come in as the officers originally ordered, and seized King Philip. When Wildcat learned of his father's capture, he rode to St. Augustine with 4 other chiefs. Although he wore a white crane feathered in his headband as the universal timepiece, Hernandez seized him and the other men. Wildcat was allowed to see his father, and then he left St. Augustine with a message requesting that those loyal to King Philip come and meet with the soldiers. Wildcat returned to the city carrying a white flag. He was accompanied by John Horse and the other who had been involved in the Tampa Bay escape. It's a fort. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. General Jessup had ordered that Wildcat's group be seized, notwithstanding the presence of a flag of truce. Having suspected this, John Horse had gone to Hernandez and asked the officers to come without an escort for a parley at the Seminole camp. In the midst of the peace talk, Hernandez gave a pre-arranged signal. Over 200 members of the U.S. 2nd Dragoons and Florida militiamen came out of Forrest's hiding place and seized the Seminole delegation. The prisoners were marched to Fort Maroon and Old Spanish Fort Knight St. Augustine to await deportation to Indian Territory, west of the Mississippi River. The Battle of Okeechobee by Guy Labrie. John Horse and Wildcat spent weeks filing the rusty iron bar blocking the 8-inch opening at the top of their 18-foot cell. They fasted for 5 days to reduce their girth, and on the moonless night of November 29, 1837, John, Wildcat, and 18 other prisoners squeezed through the opening, shimmying down the fort's rocky exterior on ropes made from mattress bags, and disappeared into the darkness. They traveled south until they reached the remnants of King Philip's band, then proceeded towards the Kissimmee River and Lake Okeechobee, gathering fighting men as they went along. Horse, now a principal chief, led a large group of black Seminoles. Wildcat led 80 Seminole warriors. They combined forces with other Seminole leaders to create a troop of some 400 men. When they were alerted that U.S. Colonel Zachary Taylor's forces were closing in, they pressed on. They reached a large prairie bordering a great swamp. Outnumbered 3-1, the combined Seminole forces waited in a dense hammock, hiding in, standing against, and laying prone beneath trees, ready to fire their weapons. On Christmas Day, 1837, Colonel Taylor's troops stepped into the Seminoles' trap. 2.5 hours of fighting followed. Eventually, Taylor's forces took the upper hand and converged on the Seminoles from 3 different directions. The Seminoles disappeared into the swamp. "26 of Taylor's forces were dead and 112 wounded. 12 Seminoles were dead and 9 escaped wounded. Taylor's official report states the Indians were driven in every direction. He was promoted to general on the strength of his report. Alright, we'll just read about Florida. We'll read about each location. Okay?
So like we do like one state.
Mm-hmm. As he assessed the situation, General Jessup was aware that the Negro and the Indian are identified to an interest and feeling. However, he concluded the Negroes ruled the Indians. He knew that while black Seminoles remained in Florida, the plantation slaves would try to escape. Sorrows and Seminoles, a 19th century engraving, depicts the deportation of the Seminoles from Florida.
Okay, so this is in Florida.
He devised a two-pronged approach. First, allow the Seminoles to stay in Florida, but confined to the area south of the Kissimmee River and Lake Okeechobee. Second, grant freedom to black Seminoles and runaways on their separating from the Indians and surrendering. Jessup's offer was tempting to many of the Seminole Indian owners imprisoned or displaced, who accepted, as well as to the black Seminoles whose owners were no longer able to protect them from kidnappers. In mid-March, the U.S. Secretary of War, Joel R. Poinsett, turned down Jessup's plan to allow Seminoles to remain in Florida. John Horse, 30 black Seminoles, and 305 Seminoles, including men, women, and children, were sent to New Orleans, where they boarded the steamboat Livingston. They passed Little Rock and arrived at Fort Gibson in Indian Territory 5 days later. All right?
That's the first chapter.
Yes.
Now, what's this gonna...
Yeah, as long as they get in your way of gaming. Or you can hit live.
You
want to take it live. And you can mute. Oh, so right here, hit color bill and hit it high. You can get that. There we go.
Okay, good. I thought I was gonna mess something up on files, but I did it right. Isn't that really good?
It's okay.
Open. See the game? Okay. Done. What?
The tycoon. I'm already like sleeping.
What?
Actually, I'm gonna change this. You wanna play? I play a tower defense game with you. I'm gonna try element tedium. You too, yeah. You could play on a laptop. I don't think it should cover a lot. We could keep an eye on it. You can play on the main screen and keep an eye on it. No. Not in a game mode. Or like I'm in a sleeping. Alright, let's put this. Oh. The spacebar? Oh, there's something stuck. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was gonna ask about that when I grabbed it. Is it like oil? Can you pull it out? There we go. Like some sort of gunk up there. Here. It felt more like something got underneath, but because it doesn't go down all the way. Can you clean that? Is this the dirty one? That's dirty and then. Oh. Yeah, let's clean that.
Find that.
There we go. Oh. Literally a thumbtack underneath it. There you go.
Okay, good thing you got that. Else, that'd be dumb. Okay, good thing you find that.
I think I was using that. They using that keyboard on the computer. It's like no, you were using a keyboard, but you generally use controller, so it probably was something you never noticed. Who knows? We plug this into the Dell, right? Yep, let's put it there. Go. Yep.
Getting bored of that.
No. Some of that could have been. It could have been nice to do that with the back. Okay. Is there was feel like being here now. This is a lot more safe.
Oh my god. Ew.
Green bag right there, but I'll take care of it. That's true. Down now, though. I don't know what that's like. Everyone lays down their life for me. What? What? Pretty much I'm on the bubbles. I'm on the bubbles. Oh.
Watch video.
Why are you so tired, Justin? You can set up the... Just... Ooh, 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 ooh. Go. got you some money and stuff. Oh, you didn't find that? Good, do it, what? Hold on, bro. Good, bro. That one turns red. What does it do? Just cutting off the butt. Are the planks the same size as the one before too? And that's still moving.
Chopping up the berry.
Doesn't make any sense.
You don't make
Yeah, Brendan. Doesn't make any sense, man. Yeah, you don't ever do that. In real life, that's how you lose arms and legs.
Oh, thank you. You're the one that doesn't know. That's on their work. Right. And they were the
Angry Earth. I'm fight Angry Earth people. I'm not exact. You're loitering. Right. So you think that this much weight? You think you can fit all that stuff on?
Put all my stuff on it when I started it.
I don't know about.
What? That's the wooden ball.
The only fun sports game is soccer.
Yeah, it's really fun because you get to kick a ball.
No, seriously, like soccer, like the FIFA game.
You use your feet.
That is literally football. Soccer is called football in most of the other regions. They doing the main football? A little bit. The main mission is over here. Sorry, you just start. Oof. Yeah. What? I thought the one was stopping. That's the whole car off it. Think it'll eat your car? That's good. That's good. Hippie is not good at Roblox?
Yeah?
What the name is that, bro? Don't see my skill in the anime fighting simulator?
Yeah. Better go back to the game.
You only got like 700 points, bro.
Money, you need. Money!
The cookie is trash, basically. Not cool, Charlie. Can't buy anything. At least we're gonna do. What you doing? Charlie. Buy that trash. Can you literally just sell wood? Is that what you do in the game? Yeah. The whole point of the game is make steel, get fancier wood. This game, you're selling yourself. Oh, do you have somebody else's base? What is that purple thing over there? We'll look over there. Here, the other one. What is that? Oh, that pink.
And
I already saw. I still have your username and password, so I just did it. Okay.
okay. Up a few. A time.
And rest of the shores. I'm gonna quickly go and go to plate make my guy some meals. He is definitely hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm out of food.
You have a potion.
I only mana potions.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I still picked up. I guess I did pick up a health potion.
But then I saw that. That's too funny. Right?
No, I hope not. I was trying to get away so I can.
That's a better. Oh! Now.
Mm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to get my mind at level 100. Wood. It's loading. I get it. I get it. Hello. Continue. Do you need lifestyle? Lifestyle. Lifestyle can heal you.
I actually have a lot of stuff in the bank.
You get off lifestyle?
After I max out my fire stuff, which is almost maxed out. I should probably have it in my inventory so I can top myself off whenever I need it. So I don't have to rely on food so much.
Heal each other. Then Brendan sold it. It had so much damage. Ah! Right. You get any lifestyle? Fuck it, that's good. I don't care. I don't care. That's it. Yes! It works! It works! I told you. Let's have to flip. I took 55 and the last category, so I can,
Focus.
pretty better, you know?
Where is my hairbrush?
Oh.
Where?
Damn, this is pretty good. The zombie.
Oh, dope.
What?
So I get back, I could actually make.
What?
Well, did it?
Okay. Put my points in the mat and tell them to put my points into. I'm addicted to that. I went to get it all. I went this way, not this way. Isn't that dumb? That monster definitely sounded like. He sounded like it's on like that. You know? Like that. So it won't heal you much, but it won't heal you. That's so funny. Nobody said he did it. It was salvage. Abandoned project. He doesn't go that fast, right? A firefighter stabs and both stabs. I think point transport is stable. It's fixed train.
I guess they're fixing it again. Hmm.
That's how we do extra story.
Nice.
So you know. If I mess this up and move, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. That's right, and but I didn't mess up. Because then I have to use all my ads off again. And I have no ads off. That would be bad. Then I have to walk all that way. You know? I think it's trading in this town. It's not trading. And you know what? That's weird. It's not.
Charlie, my friend. Yeah, I seem like you're hyper focusing on it, and it makes me feel like we need to go back and not playing this game. But you said it. This is the 4th time.
That's the fast one, right? Going down. Okay.
Also, not a limitless supply of another substance. I think I drank my ticket worth. Dude, I seriously, like, I ate breakfast, and because of the limitless supply of that, I no joke, like, didn't need to eat pretty much anything all day. Like, it didn't affect me as bad also because since I just drank the sugar-free stuff.
Mission traveling back here.
Well, I'm actually traveling. I'll be traveling back there very soon. It's just I'm traveling to quickly do a main mission quest and to break things down at uh place. There's definitely a lot more monster at this event than there was at the previous event. But they no joke had a booth of someone always passing it. Before, they just had it in a chest, you know?
A new face, but not a complete mystery. I've heard of your name and your feats. You are strange. I am Rima Bahar, a committed marauder, and many people also find me strange. Perhaps we'll get along. It's possible you've heard of me? I have some renown as a musician, among other things. Here I've come to fight and grow, and to watch others do the same. Oh, but we are fighting corruption. Here in the fighting pit, we test ourselves against those twisted creatures. Of course, there is one among the corrupted whom we all fear to fight.
Is it interesting?
The monster, Thorpe.
Hmm.
Oh, you know of him. Since you're standing here, he must not know of you. Let's hope that continues. When Thorpe comes around, this turns from sport to slaughter. He doesn't respect the rules of the game. Not at all. You seem too clever to go looking for death. Besides, you don't find Thorpe. He finds you. Back to the matter at hand. I assume you've come seeking glory in the ring. Go, fight inspiringly. The Marauders will be watching.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dear.
For our main mission, yeah.
Destroy that, or
No, there's things around here I need to fight.
ghost.
Yeah. What are you doing? that I agreed I'd do. Oh.
Well, someone has proven themselves. I saw you fight. Your moves are like the notes of a beautiful song. I'm composing the melody in my head already. Others are talking about you as well. As you've seen, the competition is simple. Defeat as many creatures as you can before you drop from exhaustion. The current record holder is my beloved Ursa. She is truly a force of nature. I'm sure she'll want to meet you.
Go ahead if you want to. Yep.
She is... That's strange. She should have arrived by now. She is the type who likes to make an entrance, but... a very kind offer. Ursa is an honorable woman. Too honorable, maybe. She could have been taken by surprise, or by deceit. I'd start by checking the road to the north.
This smells like our hotel room. I think next time we need to like have a seal system for dirty clothes. That's really just what makes hotels room musky is when your dirty clothes just air out. Yeah. From here, I'll be making my way back very soon. I was just doing this until I can't in this region. Okay. Yes, friend? You can do it if you want to. Sure. I mean, if you want to.
That's a nice thing they do in Australia. You know? Yeah. Like a miniature bird. Fuck you! Oh, crap! Oh, crap!
That's fine. Go ahead.
Killing people. And they get it. You know?
Mm.
What do you think?
Let's go on to this. Go on to what? Go on to what? Whatever. Oh, that's just Brenda's dirty laundry. So it's cool. Hey Charlie, you gotta make room for that mouse pad.
Oh! Maybe this might be my end. And I don't have any minute of it. Oh!
There you are. But where's Ursa, the champion of my own heart? What? Let me read that letter. This is...
Ah, I'm about
How could this have... How dare he? I am known for two things. My way with words, and when words fail, my blade. Thorpe and his corrupted will get the latter. I will answer this challenge in blood. Together. Is this the Soul Warden Alliance I've been hearing about? I know some marauders who have rallied to the cause, and perhaps now, I will do so as well. Very well. Between my thirst for vengeance and my respect for you,
Huh?
I will take part in this.
Yeah,
I will look
just
for
do
other
whatever feels
marauders to
right
join us as
amount.
well. Just tell me when and where. I look forward to fighting at your side.
anything to do, but not on this people actually doing pretty great. But it's grinding.
Nice.
If there's 3 people now, just the one viewing them. That for that stuff. That is death, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Better hoping it's showing.
Mm.
Oh, right, then I tell you for it. I understand it, you know.
Mm.
Taking long towards the wall. And there the element of
Oh, that's funny. So expeditions, they're all in the same zone. You just teleport to a different zone, and it's on the, like it's kind of look at the map locations. So all they are is they must have built the dungeons over here, and just have you teleport to it. That's a glitch. Yep. Oopsies. A fast travel costs $255.
I'm fucking very low. That doesn't know. He put me safe, and I meant to put number 1. That's my number 1 thing I do now. Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! Damn it! I never add a mana. Seriously?
That's cool. So it's kind of like your little soul watering base. Yeah, so when I am in the place where I'm done doing what I can for the main missions. You back? Can I use the restroom?
Hoping you got
Business and you like it.
Justin. Oh, no, no! You're not gonna. Down. It's been my petty saved me.
Oh, you still don't want. Oh, I just couldn't wearing it.
Oh, why can't I block? What? Oh,
The older dad drove that into my criticism.
look.
Hmm. You're cool, my friend. Huh? You're looking for the port. That one I have to put on its back. Oh, other back. There we go, like that. Be able to see the ports. Hmm.
Wow. I've heard legends about the Soul Wardens since I was a boy. Not only are they real, but I get to fight alongside them. I feel like I'm part of history in the making. I was duped. I thought I was part of a great cause, a holy mission. Story of my life, really. The other knights and I were chasing relics stolen from Jerusalem by sea. And by sea, like fools, we pursued them. I'm not sure they ever even existed. Our knight commander turned out to be not a trustworthy man. After a storm, we ended up shipwrecked on a strange beach. Many drowned, but I've always been a strong swimmer. Huh. Is it the lucky man who outlives every cause he's ever joined? Emil the Lucky, they can call me. But enough gloom, I think. Eternum offers new causes, and eternal life to boot.
Look at all these people you convinced to come. You have quite the silver tongue, don't you? It's a long and thrilling story. In the dead of night, on a ship bound for Tripoli, I escaped my bonds and dove overboard into the cold Mediterranean Sea.
I think that's like the only last thing we watched last time we were here, right?
Escape a fate worse than death. Marriage. To an old man I'd never met. The Sultan's men dragged me onto that ship. They thought they had me trapped, beaten, but they did not know me. Yes, although he didn't want to. He was a good man, mostly, and a generous patron of my music, back in Constantinople. But after I stabbed that prince, he faced great political pressure to make me disappear. Well, not fatally. He challenged me to a duel after I stole away Fatma, his fiancée. He was so angry. Is it my fault that my beautiful Fatma preferred me over that joke of a prince? Fatma. I wonder if she ever did marry.
You don't have to worry about that. You're making everything sticky. Yep. It's the selling point of diet soda. We're gamers. Don't worry about your computer getting sticky. That's diet. Diet taste, diet fat. Eating myself all fast substance. So, went from fast substance to Diet Mountain Dew.
Providence, destiny, the hand of Lady Fortuna herself. Also, I would say if I weren't a man of rationality. Still, as the cannonballs hit the ship and the water rose, I admit I raised a prayer or two. The Spanish, I think, I don't really follow politics. I was on my way to Oxford to lecture on avian anatomy, when the ship carrying me across the channel suddenly stopped carrying me across the channel. Presumably, that's what ships do when they've got big holes in them. Don't you see? Everything acts according to observable, rational principles. Ships sink, birds. Inconceivable. Just because we don't understand the rules yet doesn't mean they don't exist. It's a scientist's job to reveal them.
Alright. This
Yes,
water is up
there's
here.
so much to learn and all the time in the world to do it.
It's a beast.
Well,
Back in
now,
those speaking
our
Spanish.
peacemaker returns. We've
This was
already
light.
heard that some marauders have agreed to parley. Well done. We've received a more troubling dispatch as well, from a warlord among the corrupted. He mentions you by name. Then you do know him. Yes, some of the other wardens have seen him rallying the corrupted. There is some notion that he may be this Tempest figure we've heard about. You know him personally? Ah, that would explain the contents of this dispatch. He threatens you by name, accusing you of betrayal, thievery, cowardice, and the list goes on. Something about his box. Whoever he was, you knew him. He's changed into something else now. He certainly commands many corrupted, and wields the power of the Tempest. And he's calling you out by name. Well, but what? Not only is it an insane risk, but what about the parley? You convinced all the factions to sit down together, and now you would just vanish before negotiations even begin? Hurry back, will you? Who knows how long I'll be able to keep the factions from each other's throats without you?
Do not get yourself killed or worse. Corrupted. Not bad. I don't mind it. Yeah. It's, I'm diving into the world of, the new world.
I think it's like a skater, the food skater.
Mm. What are you talking about?
Let's get fun.
Oh,
Let's get fun
I
now.
love you, my friend. Not very good. You're fine, my friend. He's talking about the weight distribution in it. Yeah.
Remember to stay hydrated.
Don't we put this on? Empty. That one? Your hand out? See this? Here. This part needs to be with your thumb. Yay! So hold out your left hand.
Okay. Whoa.
Then you just, yeah. Yeah, I was just helping as quickly with that stuff. After I finish.
Drink more milk. Drugs are bad.
Thanks for the PA warning.
I'm watching you.
It's a new world, you know? It's where no drugs exist.
I mean, what's wrong with the soda that we did drink?
He can't be anything. He doesn't even know it's me. I'm someone here on this stream. Go away, random voice. You're not welcome. Voice? Are you there?
Drink your milk.
Oh, it's haunting me. How you, Jason?
Doing okay. How you doing, bro?
I'm okay. Not too bad now. Whew.
The land kind of took it out of you?
You know, being around people kind of bring some interpersonal working out needs to happen. Communication and stuff like that, you know, large group stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone just needs to share a friendship sandwich.
Ooh. Are you making the friendship sandwich?
No, we all make the friendship sandwich.
Oh.
Are you delivering your ingredients over?
Nah. I ate them on the way there, sorry. I just got so excited and hungry for friendship.
So, if we make the friendship sandwich, who's eating the sandwich?
I'll eat
I mean, he already ate it.
I must consume the friendship.
Oh, this is like getting into Spirited Away kind of story. I'm good, man. Please don't eat me.
Give me your friendship.
You have to stop it flash.
I think I need to buy a bunch of iron.
Give me some.
Sure, if you want to give me some iron.
Just trade me some gold.
Join me in the new world for the friendship sandwich.
I'm good.
Us. I'm not even max level yet, and I've been playing this for a while. I take my sweet time. But the crafting...
Trading job, you know.
Is it?
Iron, it said...
20 transferable, this disabled.
Make things live too.
Oh. Well, you can't... Oh, maybe you can transfer items.
Oh, good.
Hmm.
You know what I'm gonna go? A bow and spear?
Mm-hmm.
If you think you can make me a spear. Yeah. If it's possible, I make it. Possible, I would take it. Down there. So, yeah. Spear. Good.
I don't think... They'll only be level 3, so it won't be good.
It would?
Mm-hmm. Beat that garbage.
You should like the gear score, right?
What did I say?
No, you said it doesn't matter about the damn, it only matters about the gear score.
That's for PvP, not for PvE. Your score very much matters for PvE.
Or at least try to trade you. Okay. So,
Feel better getting the video in regards to
thank you. I think this would be okay of this whenever you're trading.
Move.
Well, if
What's your rule?
well, if you're fine with this, so but let's say this so it's not too overpowered. If I at least gets to 25, then that's the max. Okay, so before I make this, so before I make this roll, and okay, effective trading. So here's a demonstration. But then I have one idea, okay?
Okay.
Then you trade me 1 gold.
I'm not doing a gold per ingot. That's a terrible exchange rate. Oh yeah, you can buy lots of iron.
We did it.
Um. Go ahead. You could probably just reset that PC now. Yeah. So just unlog it. Oh. After reset it. Install all them dang drivers. Those dang drivers.
How about them devils too? What?
No, Shane, I might be trying some mighty good drivers you got there, sir.
Got that damn driver, he drove around, he's going zoom, zoom, zoom all around that circle, and then they end up crashing and goes friggin' awesome, mate.
That is a no. Because I think the Microsoft contract for now. Well, I just
Is it my actual password?
this
Yeah. So it's either you. Really.
stuff is just like that.
Yep. It's wipe it clean. Yep. Wipe it clean.
It'll turn into
Yeah, you can't enable TPM on there, so get Windows 11 denied. I don't think he can hear you. It is Jason.
What?
got the name.
That's oh, and hi Jason, but he wasn't facing anywhere near the microphone. So tomorrow, most likely be me, Justin, and David. We're on around 7-ish. You do some Gunfire Reborn.
If I'm even awake.
Yeah, it's a big if. Mm. I mean, it's not hard to get bait, you just have to hold on to it. You'd easily make bait by just making spice and using spice with either fish or meat. Hmm. Yeah. Bloody. Yeah. I thought I got rid of it. Oh, like years ago. Things are different now. My heart's different towards sentimental stuff.
Convince you to keep it.
Did you?
Yes, because when they want kids, when they want, you want some stuff. All of my travel stuff is a lot more private. I don't know, do it. See what I can.
Thing is, I don't have any of my child stuff.
But here's something from someone.
The right thing that I don't have. Guys. Look at all this stuff for us. Look at it. Really? That's what happened to you, Justin. Like, that's why my dad was married to. Because he take care of it was either that, or he lets his brother take care of it. He was gonna do it with his brother. Hmm.
Hot stuff.
You, Robbie.
You're
This is cringy.
it's not cringy, it's cute.
Cringy, you
It's not cringy, it's
Yeah.
cute. You gotta read the whole thing.
No, get away from me. That's cringy. It's
Sorry to work at Domino's still. Looking forward. Going to Portland and escape the mundane life of pizza.
Get fucking away.
It was cute.
No way.
Why don't you do things like this for me anymore?
I'm not lame anymore.
This is not lame.
I guess you're stuck with him now.
You see this last one?
Oh man, get that away from me.
This first paragraph is my favorite. Did you read the whole first paragraph?
What?
Now you don't even care. With me. This is the cutest thing. I'm gonna frame it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Put in put space for mayonnaise. That's good. Put in the face.
No! No!
Yeah. Put in his face. 8,000 years old bird. 8,000 years old.
Reset my tweet button. That doesn't.
Working too. I almost done.
Keep making my way back, but then,
What? I don't know why. Why you know? I guess I eat.
Me.
There's tears.
I wrote to go to the chest, dropped off my stuff, and then got to do dot reading.
You.
Had to take a break.
It took an hour.
I seriously took an hour. You did start off with Lumber Tycoon.
Replay was still doing that, like, upgrade,
You have an epic lifestyle?
People aren't making upgrades on upgrades.
I didn't even get that epic.
I got it from doing faction missions.
You know, when Windows says it can't be this it won't from there. Click that, and I click even this, and then I click this one.
So the other local cloud never worked. That would never work at my house. The cloud is so reinstalled and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, but it's a wonder why no one likes using everything with that. Just when it still is upset. Big man local.
How about you try shift and restart? Well, shift and you hit restart.
You want
Yeah, try that way and see if this can thing. Alright. I'll be back, Jason. Bathroom, then I gotta read to the Brohium.
Okay, have a good one, man.
Are you dipping or are you gonna stay in?
I don't know.
Alright, well, he did. Oh man, it was good seeing you for outside. If not, then cool. I'll talk to you soon. Alright, Jason, actually, it's almost 5:30 and I almost keep track of time. I gotta take my broing home.
See you, bro.
Yep.
Sounds like boy.
Yeah.
That's just enough.
Mm-hmm. Alright, friends, we're dipping. Catch you streamer guys later. Bye.
I was not expecting that.